Well, good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic with me, Mike Avery, here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. I was here doing a little show prep, and I looked up at my clock. It's like, holy cow, it's time to go live. And I made it. I was able to click the link and go live at 8:45, which is the time I go live every Wednesday morning here from the studio, here to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. And I will tell you who's on the show coming up here in just a little bit. Tommy, good morning. How are you? Appreciate you joining us. How are things in your world? Probably cold, probably snowy, as it is across much of southern Michigan. What a winter it has been so far, huh? We had that, what's it been now? 2 weeks ago, 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago, that really nice break in the weather. Our January thaw, basically, is what it was, I think. Outdoor Conquest. Luke, good morning, buddy. How are you? And Luke, if I remember right, you got your captain's license too. Congrats on that. That is quite an accomplishment. Now, do you plan on being a working captain, or did you get it for other reasons? Other reasons like I did. I got my captain's license for other reasons. Don't intend to be a working captain, but it's nice to have that license. Cliff, good morning. Do you see that I sent you a response to your email, and it will end up being the Ask Avery question for this week. I had intended to hold it off for another week because I thought I had some info to fill this week's Ask Avery question, but no, we're going to use yours, Cliff, instead. Mad Jack, we're all doing well. I hope the same for you. All right, Craig. Good luck in your efforts today. I hope you get a lot of work done, and thanks for checking in. Tommy's plowing snow, as I thought he would be, along with our good friend Johnny Bowler. I'm sure he's plowing snow. He actually makes a career of it. TJ, good morning. How are you? Cliff, is that the response you thought? And actually, when you said, and I know, Mike, you won't know the answer to this one. I kind of did know the answer, but I needed to verify it. But is that what you thought the answer would be? Uncle Johnny, how are you, buddy? Appreciate you being along with us. Say hi to Aunt Debbie. And Johnny, happy early birthday. Saturday, I think it is. Saturday. Uncle Johnny will be 59 years old Saturday. Well, 59 and change. So happy early birthday, Uncle Johnny. Bill says, good morning, Mike. I love the weather as much as you do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't hate winter enough to move to Florida. That'll never happen. But I'm just not excited about it like I used to be. And I realize a lot of people are, and I'm not begrudging the winter lovers that at all. Snowmobilers, skiers, cross-country or snowshoers, ice fishermen, ice fishing anglers. God bless you. Have fun. Have fun. You'll just probably be doing it without me. TJ, plowing snow here in Jackson County. Got to keep those roads open. TJ, I didn't realize you were plowing for the county. I thought you were a private contractor. So thank you for that. God bless you for that. Tim, good morning, buddy. How are you? Dave, always a pleasure. That's to be announced, but I have a plan in place, just tying up the loose ends. Well, good luck to you, Luke. When you make that move, Luke, and I'm just speculating on what it might be, guessing on what it might be, reach out to me, and maybe we'll get you on the show to talk about that process and the mindset of pulling the trigger on a venture like that. Jay, good morning. Thanks for joining us, Jay, of the Black Lake chapter of Sturgeon for Tomorrow. Their spearing season comes up here 7th, Jay. Good luck on that. Have fun. Randy, go dogs. Trying to stay warm. Got a crock pot of chicken noodle soup on. Cliff says, kind of. All right, gotcha. Renee, good morning. How are you? Michael, always a pleasure. Kevin, Prophet, good morning, buddy. How are you? He says, "Good morning, Mike. I used to be very active outdoors in the winter, but it can end right now, and I wouldn't cry." Amen, brother. Kevin, you might recognize Kevin's name. He was a fixture, a staple, an icon in mid-Michigan country radio for many, many years. He is now retired, enjoying that part of life. Kevin, congrats. Have fun. Good luck to you. Beverly, good morning. How are you? Thank you, Luke. Bill Hoffman. Only 6 tickets left for his show this Saturday night. Want to come? I'll comp you and the wife. Appreciate that, Bill. Where is the show? I can't make it. We're having dinner with my son and daughter-in-law Saturday night. But give us the details. Maybe somebody else would like to join you. February 7th. That's what I thought. TJ, yes, full-time for the county. Love it. Get Fridays off during the summer, so I get to hunt all day during Rocktober. Doesn't Rocktober sound pretty good right now? Actually, any month other than January, February, or March sounds pretty good right now. Or maybe December. Cliff, the weather's good for his business. I sell collision repair supplies. Yeah, good for you. Foster Finley, good morning, my friend. How are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. How have you been? How is life treating you? Brian, good morning. Paul, always a pleasure. Paul, any more news on MUCC's convention? That is coming up the weekend of the 21st, 22nd. It's in conjunction with the Outdoor Rama Show. Bill Hoffman, Fenton, dadbodcomedy.com. Dadbodcomedy.com. Bill Hoffman, of course, the most interesting man in Michigan, outdoor writer, podcaster, former law enforcement officer. Art, come on and say hi, buddy. Come on in. Get your old self in here.
Hey, I heard a rumor.
See, uh-oh.
I heard a rumor there's some kind of an event coming up that has to do with Trinity Monitor Church. You know anything about that?
Yeah, Saturday, March 7th. That is our 9th annual. For tickets, go to bidpal.net/Trinity. Tonight on Wednesday Night Live, I'll put up the QR code.
I'm
But
glad
yeah.
I asked.
You'll be there, right?
I'll be there.
All right. And you've been to, what, 4 or 5 of them now?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You want a gun at the last.
Yeah. we don't give away. We raffle off some guns. Art usually wins at least one.
At least. Yeah. I did win 2 one year.
If what would your ideal gun be? All right, if you said, okay, I'm going to win a gun and I want it to be the perfect gun, what would it be?
Well, for me, I'm a pistol fan.
Right.
And probably for me, this would be rather simple. Probably a SIG 365 Fusion with a Romeo dot.
What if I told you we had a SIG P365, not the Fusion? You'd take it. You'd win
my
it.
card.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be happy.
I love that SIG, that 365. That is my that's my daily driver as well. I love
there you
that
go.
gun. Art, always a
All
pleasure.
right.
You can hear Art on WSGW AM and FM and also WSGW.com. Bill Hoffman says his would be a Kimber 1911. Bill, can I tell you something, Bill? It's going to break your heart. I had a Kimber 1911, and I traded it because I didn't like it. Rocktober would be amazing. Dan says it is cold in North Dakota. Paul says roads are bad, so I'm late. Tim Binns, I'd love to live somewhere warmer, but after moving up north, don't think anywhere in America can compete. Yeah, you live in a beautiful part of the state. Only a few resolutions to go through. I've reached out, seems to still in limbo on how things are going to play out. Yeah, that's my impression as well. Jeff says, good morning, legends. Speaking of Art Lewis, Joe checking in from Germfast, a Kimber 1911. I had a 1911 and I traded it. Gosh, it was something stupid. It may have been a car. It may have been a PM9, which is a fine gun. And I just couldn't get used to the 1911 format. All right, Johnny, have a good day, buddy. Jerry checking in from Algonac. Lonnie, interesting question. Is there a radio station broadcasting your program in the Kalamazoo area? Not anymore. WBCK in Battle Creek, after carrying my show for many, many years, switched formats at the end of December, beginning of the year maybe, and they are no longer carrying the show. It was one of those things where I have no control over it. There's nothing I can do about it. Those things happen in radio. When stations get sold, there's nothing I can do about it. When stations change format, there's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is try to provide the best show and the best service to those affiliates that I possibly can, making it as easy as possible that I can. And I do that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Another place I'd like to be on is a WBRN in Big Rapids. I was on there for a while. Here's why I'm not on in Big Rapids. They want me to pay for airtime. I won't pay for airtime. That's why I'm not on in Detroit. I will not pay for airtime. That's a business model that I got involved in with the TV show, and it damn near bankrupted us. So I vowed I will never pay for airtime again. So if a station wants me to pay for airtime, it's just not going to work. I'm not going to do it. Mad Jack said be a Colt 45 and a 1911. Good morning, Harry. How are you? Tommy, big fan of the Kimber 1911. Morning, Gene. Paul says, in all honesty, I'm a bit concerned. He's talking about MUCC here. Over the lack of communication on moving forward. I hope there are things happening that they're holding back and releasing at convention. Maybe hoping for something good. Looking forward to it. That is not an unrealistic concern, Paul. I've heard that from several people now because, and I know you have an inside track there, but I do as well. So I feel like I have a pretty good handle on where the organization wants to go. But in reality, yeah, there could probably be more communication. And I like you, Paul, I'm hoping that, a lot of good things come out at convention. I think it will be an interesting convention because there are going to be some people, I think, that are going to let the current leadership of MUCC, they're not going to cut them any slack. So it'll be interesting. Johnny Bowler, Bear Whisperer, cold and snow, 31 days straight. I'm looking forward to spring. I am as well. Kevin says, hunker down for this cold front coming. Yeah. Have you seen the forecast coming up? If you thought it was cold the last couple of days, check out the forecast for the next few days. You're like Siberia. Man. Harry says, I'm with you, Johnny. Harry, Johnny, do you guys know each other? I feel like you do. Terry, Springfield Armory XD S9. Springfield Armory. I have a Springfield Armory XDS that I really, really like. I have more guns than, well, I don't have enough guns, put it that way. Paul, who's on the show this week, I'll tell you coming up. Ken Ruff, good morning, brother. How are you? Ken, that's a very nice picture of you right there. You look good. Heading home from Florida on Friday, not looking forward to it. I don't blame you, Ken. Why don't you stay down there a couple more days? A few more days. Harry, ice. Lots of ice fishing contests coming up. Tim, good morning, South Carolina. Hope you all keep warm up north. We're not. Brad, good morning. Paul, most definitely interested, and if I'm the executive board members, I'd be concerned because they're, I believe, replaceable by our vote. Good point. Okay, talked on here but never met. That bridge will come. Yeah, you guys should talk. You should meet face to face. I think you would really, I think you'd hit it off. I think you would enjoy each other's conversations. Because you can both BS, and that's not a bad thing. Because Paul asked, I will tell you who's coming up on this week's show. And the Outdoor Magazine radio show, by the way, is heard on more than 30 stations across our great state of Michigan. Not WBCK in Battle Creek anymore. Is what it is. My first guest this week, Captain Jason Graham of Send It Charters out of the Linwood Beach Marina. We're going to talk about Saginaw Bay ice fishing. Now, given the way the weather forecast looks, are you leaving me, John? Oh, boy. So Charlie's coming in? Or is Art running the show this week?
Good luck.
Art says no. Jason Graham talks about ice fishing on Saginaw Bay. Then Dan Ulfig from the Michigan Wildlife Council. Let me go back to a couple of comments here, a couple of questions. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that question. I've noticed a lot of brown trout being pulled out of Fletcher's Pond this ice fishing season. I thought the brown trout season closed in September. Can you clear that up for me? I cannot clear that up for you off the top of my head. Maybe somebody on here can. I know that trout fishing regulations can be very specific to certain bodies of water. Maybe Fletcher's is still open. I don't know. Anybody else know the answer to that? Johnny says you can't BS a BSer. It is your duty to ask, Paul. Absolutely. More guns, not enough guns. Yeah. There's never enough guns. Never have enough guns. And I was telling my grandson Carter this the other day because he had a couple of guns given to him. Not gifted to him, given to him. And he said he wanted to sell them. And I said, well, do what you want to do, Carter, but think this through. I said, I have never sold a gun. I'll rephrase that. Every gun I've ever sold, I regretted it. I regretted it. There are guns I've sold that I wish I wouldn't. A Ruger Red Label, 12 gauge over under. I wish I had that gun. Mini 14. Wish I had that gun. Very few guns I've sold that I didn't regret. Coming up in our second hour this week, Joe Velchansky. He is the president of the Michigan Trappers and Predator Callers Association. He just got back from Kansas. He was trapping in Kansas. But I want to talk about trapping. I think trapping is a very, very interesting lifestyle. I think it is a very necessary service. I'm thinking about the pond behind our house. We had a trapper come in and take 2 beavers out of there. And when I look at the damage those things did, and they're just being beavers. They're beavers doing what beavers do, which is cut down trees. Hey, Charlie.
Good morning to you, Mr. Avery.
You my guy today, Charlie?
I am it.
Charlie Rude, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie.
Really, though,
Yeah. Listen, Charlie, I think the world of you, and I would not drive to the parking lot today to wait for you. I wouldn't. I saw you walking out to the mailbox in the storm, though, Charlie.
After I shoveled the walk to get out there.
I actually was I was busy and didn't see you do that, but I figured that was you. Okay. Then Merle, talking about the beavers on the pond behind the house. And the other day when the snow was just right and the light was just right and we had a fresh snow, I could see, I took binoculars and I could see on the far side of the pond, there are like 6 full-size trees that the beavers had taken down. You could see them all laying down. If you looked at them with binoculars, you could see the chisel at the bottom. They were definitely beavers harvests. They took them down before they became missing. This week's Ask Avery question, a question submitted by Cliff, who's on here right now, or was earlier. He wants to know about, this is for a buddy of his. When you're a convicted felon, you can't have a firearm. Can you have a muzzleloader? We'll address that. And then our third hour, we're talking about wintertime squirrel hunting with dogs with Rick Hobbs of the Michigan Squirrel Dog Association. And we will wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. This week, Dave has, thank you, Charlie. It's a walleye with bananas, I think, but it's a recipe that I have video for, and I will put that online. Okay, let me go back to a couple of comments. Henry, I sold a Red Label. I wish I never would have. Yeah, I think I needed money at the time. I'll be brutally honest. I think I needed the money at the time, sold it. Now I wish I wouldn't have. But you got to do what you got to do. Tim says, yes, keep them all. Keep them all. Kevin says he also regretted all the guns he sold. Never enough. Everybody I talk to that has sold guns has regretted it. So don't sell guns. Hang on to them. Good morning, Jerry. How are you? Jim, nice to have you along with us. My name, of course, not of course, is Mike Avery. Well, yeah, you know it's Mike Avery because look at right there, Mike Avery Outdoors. I will be back tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Renee, I don't think I could ever sell mine. If you can avoid it, Renee, don't. Again, I think the Mini 14 and the Ruger Red Label, I think I found myself in a money crunch and I needed some money, which, it happens in life. It was a while ago. But you got to do what you got to do. Jim says, one thing my dad told me, never sell them. I listened. Jerry says his Red Label went to his son. You know what? Giving your guns to your son, that's not a bad deal. Matt, good morning, buddy. How are you? Thank you, Matt, for donating the Predator hunt to the Trinity Monitor dinner. Oh, okay. So I'm going to talk about a few things here as we record the first segment of the show. Some things I didn't get to in our conversation right now. Where did those go? Oh, right here. 10, 8,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
blast off. Okay. Always need a bigger safe. Hey, Steve, good morning. How are you? All right, my friends, I got to change focus here. I got to put on my official broadcast headphones. And actually, they're pretty loud. I got to have Charlie turn them down. It'll blow my ears out. Whoa, that's loud. So when he gets down in here, turns that down, I will record. Hey, Mike, good morning. Charlie, if you get a second, turn these phones down, will you? They're going to blow my ears out. There we go. Thank you. Blow my hearing aids out. All right, my friends, have a good day. See you tonight, 7 o'clock, Wednesday Night Live. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine radio show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. Keep going, Charlie. Keep going down, 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 down. Charlie is going. That'll be good right there, Charlie. Appreciate that. Charlie adjusting the volume of my headphones. And it's not that I'm such a prima donna. I can't adjust my own headphones. But where I'm sitting right now, it would be a little bit awkward to reach across the counter, the table, and do that, especially while I'm on camera doing a live stream. And, I want to give my best side to the camera, of course. Anyway, my friends, welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine show. So glad to have you along with us. What can we say? What can we say right now? We've got to talk about the weather. I mean, come on. As we're sitting here in the studio right now, midweek, recording the show, it's been brutal. We've got a snowstorm going on outside right now. But looking at the forecast, it's going to get even colder. Man, I was joking around the other day. I'm starting to feel like it's 1978 all over again, although we don't have nearly the amount of snow. Now, I grew up on the west side of the state. 1978, I was at Ferris at the time, State College, now Ferris State University. Go Dogs. And man, did we get snow. I mean, they closed 131. We were dragging toboggans down 131 to get to the beer store. We don't have that much snow, but it sure is cold. And I guess the good news is, if you're an ice angler, it's been making some ice. Inland lakes. My buddy Lanny, we had a little get-together at the house last weekend. Lanny and Chris and Doug and Wendy came over, and Lanny lives on a north central Michigan inland lake, and he had been out ice fishing earlier in the day. He told me, this is last week, they had 2 feet of ice on the lake in front of his house. And more now, I'm sure. So, the inland lakes are just locked in tight. Bigger water, Saginaw Bay. Boy, by the time you're hearing this show this weekend, I would suspect, and don't take my word for it, and we'll talk about this more in just a few minutes here on the show. Always check the ice conditions and check them yourself as you're heading out. But I would suspect by this weekend they'll be out in force on Saginaw Bay. I say they, not me, they. But there is, some small glimmer of hope on the horizon. Have you noticed the days are getting longer? Yeah. They're cold, but they're getting longer. So it's a small step in the right direction. By the time you hear this, the DNR will have announced the winners of the Pure Michigan Hunt. And I'm just assuming, as I have right from the start, that my name was drawn. They will be Mike A, 1480, or Charlie Rude, or Charlie R, whatever the last four of his social numbers are, or his phone number is. Because Charlie, being the guy that he is, just the sweetheart of a guy, for Christmas, he bought me several chances for the Pure Michigan Hunt. So between what Charlie bought, and he said if he wins, he's gonna give it to me. You got to watch Charlie, though. If he actually does win and gets a better offer from somebody else, he might sell those to somebody else. So, but between Charlie's chances and my chances, I just know that I won the Pure Michigan Hunt. If I didn't, there was a mistake. And I'm going to have to talk to the folks at the Michigan DNR. I had made a post earlier in the week about Pure Michigan Hunt coming up. And, it never ceases to amaze me, the negativity that's out there. Some people, you wake up in the morning and you hate the world? Is that the way your mind works? Okay, I'm going to get up this morning, I'm going to look around, I'm going to see what's here, and I'm going to be negative about everything. I'm going to hate everything. There's nothing positive. My world stinks. I'm miserable. Everybody's out to get me. Is that the way you look at the world? If so, I really feel sorry for you. And I'll use the Pure Michigan Hunt as an illustration of that. DNR charges $5 to apply for the Pure Michigan Hunt. It's not like they're asking you to refinance your house. It's not like you're making a truck payment or anything like it. It's $5, okay? If you dislike the concept, and I'll go back. The way the Pure Michigan Hunt works is for $5, you apply and you get one chance at the Pure Michigan Hunt. If you win, and I did, if you win, you get a bull elk tag any season, a bull elk tag. Now, is that alone not worth $5 to take a chance on? I think that it is. Then you get a bear tag, an all season, any area Michigan bear tag. And then you get a turkey tag, you get some waterfowl tags, you get some hunting gear. It's a really nice prize. I've said before, and I'll stick to this, if I win, or when I win, or actually I did win, I'll take the bull elk tag, I'll take the bear tag, I will donate the turkey and waterfowl hunts to a charity, a veterans charity, so they can use those to make money, and I will donate the gear as well, so folks can use that to make money. I'm only interested in the bear tag and the elk tag, but I think that's worth $5 for sure. If you hate the DNR so much, and you think they're just trying to get your money, then don't do it. Don't apply. If at your core you are so negative and detest everything going on in the world of hunting and fishing today, then just don't participate. Don't give them your money. Not that big a deal. It's not brain surgery. If you don't like it, don't do it. But then don't, and here's another thing, then don't come on my social media outlets, in particular Facebook. I see this is worse on Facebook than anywhere. Don't expect to come on my Facebook page and gripe about everything in the world. I mean, if you have legitimate concerns, yeah, fine, but just negativity for the sake of being negative or chastising fellow hunters or anglers, or, we've talked about this before. Don't come to my page. Well, yeah, but I have the right to express myself. It's guaranteed in the Constitution. No, the Constitution does not guarantee the right to come on my social media pages and bash other people or me. So don't expect to have that happen. Some things coming up. February 7th, there is a fundraiser in Bay County for Brian's House. That is a facility. That's an end of life facility. I'm not putting this on. I'm helping them because my dad was in a hospice on the west side of the state for a week at the end of his life here on Earth, and I saw what good those events do. So if I can help out, I am. That's coming up Saturday the 7th. The weekend of February 21st, 22nd, the MUCC convention is in Novi in conjunction with Outdoorama. This will be a very interesting convention. I think we'll get a better sense for where MUCC is heading. Then when we get into March, Saturday, March 7th, the big Trinity Monitor Wild Game Dinner and Auction. That is at the Great Hall in Midland. Tickets on sale at one.bidpal.net/Trinity Monitor. Live auction, silent auction, online auction, gun raffles. I mean, there's so many wonderful events, so many wonderful auction items. I appreciate everybody who has donated to help make that a success. Before we look, we've done 8 of them now, right? So we know that it takes a lot of people and a lot of donations from supporters, and we're seeing that. So thank you so very much. And then the next morning, bright and early the next morning, because I'm usually wrecked that next day, my wife Denise and I are jumping on an airplane to go to Florida to watch my granddaughter Addison play softball for a week. But then I come right back and I go to Reese for the Reese Adventure Club. I have to speak there. So it's going to be a busy several weeks, but you know what? It's going to help me get through the rest of winter to get into springtime. You know this by now. I'm not a fan of winter. Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine show after the break, Captain Jason Graham of Send It Charters out of Linwood Beach Marina will join me to talk about Saginaw Bay ice fishing. Then Dan Ulfig from the Michigan Wildlife Council. In our second hour, Joe Velchansky, who is the president of the Michigan Trappers and Predator Callers Association, talks about trapping, the role of trappers, how to get involved, what's involved. And then Merle Jones, also of the Michigan Trappers and Predator Callers Association, but he's wearing a different hat and talking about year-round coyote hunting. And in our third hour, we'll continue on the hunting theme with Rick Hobbs of the Michigan Squirrel Dog Association, talking about wintertime squirrel hunting. Now, when I was a kid growing up, we didn't have wintertime squirrel hunting. We do now, and you can hunt them with dogs. We'll talk to Rick about that. And wild game chef extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner will wrap it all up with a walleye recipe that I have video of once again, and I will be posting that online. My name is Mike Avery. This show is called Outdoor Magazine. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what's on your mind. What do you like? What do you don't like? Share your pictures, your comments, your videos. Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Jason Graham coming up after the break right here on Outdoor Magazine. Mark, good morning, Cap. How are you? Thank you, Cap, for donating Detroit River walleye fishing trip for our Trinity Monitor event. Appreciate that so very much. All right, my friends, I got to go. You have a great day. Try to stay warm. Be safe if you're on the roads, and I will see you tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live.